All right, it's Thursday. That means we have a vet here to answer your pet questions. So if you have a problem with your pet, you can give us a call now. The number is 918-460-KJRH. And it's Dr. Joe Landers here once again to answer your questions. And he's brought along Hank the Schnauzer this morning. This is Hank the Schnauzer. And our groomer actually wanted me to point out that he is what they call a party Schnauzer. And not just because he's so cool. Actually, he is white on him. And a lot of times you'll see that with boxers and stuff. They call him flashy. But most Schnauzers are mostly gray or black. And in fact, he has a girlfriend, we called her. He has a girlfriend? Yes, they came as a pair. Someone had to give them up. And she's just all gray, so she's plain. So he's the more outspoken of the two. So you're hoping Hank and his girlfriend can maybe stay together, huh? Actually, people were looking for two of them. They're actually very, very calm. You know, terriers by nature are more active and barky and stuff, and that's just part of their love. They are 4 and 5 years old, so they're actually kind of past that juvenile stage. You know, when you have a puppy, a lot of times there's a stage there where they chew up everything and they're just kind of juvenile, but they're past that. But nice little dog here, good little dog, and but yeah, he's over at Heritage. So okay, we'll tell you more about how to find Hank in just a moment, and his girlfriend too, of course. First, though, let's go to the phones, and we have a caller in Claremore. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. What's your question?
I have a 11-year-old Pomeranian. The vets say his heart's good, his lungs are good, but he has this cough.
Yep, coughs all the time. Does he cough when he gets excited?
No, this is different. This is a horrible cough.
Okay.
And one of the vets I took him to thinks maybe he has a collapsed esophagus.
Collapsing trachea, actually. Esophagus runs right next to it, which goes down to the stomach. And actually, I was going to talk about that a little bit. A lot of times, you can feel your own trachea there. It looks like a vacuum hose, and it's got little rings in there, and they're cartilage. And as a lot of those dogs get older, and poodles are pretty classic, Schnauzers will do it some, but Pomeranians do it a lot too. It starts to collapse and it gets weak, and so when they breathe in, their little trachea collapses on itself, and that induces what's called the cough reflex, and it sounds awful. I mean, it's a really harsh cough, and it's very hard because in essence, they feel like they're being choked a little bit. There's some medications that you can give to kind of calm that down a little bit, and some tricks. One of the deals I kind of mentioned real quick was, is when it gets excited. Well, you try to limit the things that excite them. For instance, I have some dogs that the doorbell rings, and they got to bark a lot, and then they start kind of coughing because of that. So there's little things you can do. But yeah, that's something that you're going to have to kind of manage with some medication and kind of a little bit of a change a little bit, and especially if the dog's overweight, you want to get some weight off the dog as well so they can breathe a little bit easier. But very common, not dangerous. I mean, it's nothing that's going to, but it can really exhaust them a little bit. So. All right, our next caller is in Tulsa. Good morning. What's your question? Are you there?
Yes, is this me?
Hi,
okay.
yes,
it is. What's your question?
I need to know, I don't know if you can answer this. I've got a little 8-pound poodle. He's 2 years old. I have not been able to house train him.
Yep.
And I've had dogs over and again. I've had big dogs and little dogs.
Yep.
This little guy is amazing. He will go, I'll put paper in the house. I'm in a condo, and he needs to go outside. I've got bells on the doors. He'll ring the bell, go outside, and sometimes do his business and sometimes not.
Right.
But the thing is, he does it in defiance. He'll come back in, and I have paper in the house, like.
Absolutely. Now, sometimes they will do that. They'll kind of communicate in ways that you and I would not. Okay. But a lot of times, what I'll tell people on these little guys, one of the little tricks we do is we put a leash on them. And that really helps two ways. One, it keeps them close to you, because most of the time they don't go right by you. And the second deal is it helps you kind of remind, kind of like a string around your finger, I gotta be watching this dog, okay? Especially if we went outside and we didn't go to the bathroom, because we were kind of waiting, well, we had better things to do, chase a leaf, sniff the air, whatever, and kind of come back in. And then what I tell people is, if you can do that for 2 to 4 weeks and really be diligent, and if you can't watch that dog, let's say you're doing something else, they have to go in a crate or they're kind of special place, is to be very, very diligent. But one of the little tricks that we do is we put a leash on and we go around, and it seems silly, but it really does help. Should get the job done. Absolutely. All right, so remember, if you would like to adopt Hank here or his girlfriend Shelby or both, you can call Animal Aid at 918-744-8280 or log on to animalaid.org.